Welcome to all. We have started our online course PGTRB English in Valluvar Vasagar Vattam. We will provide you a materials test batch group discussion in Google Meet. First, let's see the syllabus. Today's class Unit 1 Prose Detailed Prose. Let's see the session in brief. Let's see the author intro. Francis Bacon. Francis Bacon, first Viscount Sir Alban, was born on January 22, 1561 and died on April 9, 1626, was also known as Lord Verulam. He served as Attorney General and as Lord Chancellor of England. Bacon has been called the father of imperialism. Bacon was the first recipient of the Queen's Counsel designation conferred in 1597 when Elizabeth I of England reserved him as her legal advisor. After the accession of James VI and I in 1603, Bacon was knighted, then created Baron Verulam in 1618 and Viscount St. Alban in 1621. His death in 1626 at the age of 65, he died due to the pneumonia. Francis Bacon's Of Truth. Bacon says that truth is a belief that affixes the mind and hinders free will in thinking and acting. The Greek philosophers who question the possibilities of human knowledge are no longer there, but there are still some people who the same. A mixture of lie with truth adds pleasure. We will see important quotes. Francis Bacon important quotes. Truth is a naked and open daylight that doth not show the mask and mummeries and triumphs of the world, half so stately and daintily as can. The next topic is Bacon's Of Adversity. The good things that belong to prosperity ought to be wished, but the good things that belong to adversity ought to be admired. By this, Bacon means that prosperity is easy to handle, but because adversity is so hard, anyone who can manage to live through adversity is to be admired. Bacon's main focus in Of Adversity is on the high value of adversity as a Christian belief with respect to prosperity. According to first Cesario and then Sir Francis Bacon had said, the virtue of prosperity is temperance, the virtue of adversity is fortunate. Adversity will very often make us courageous, but it will make us miserable first. The next topic is Of Studies. Bacon, the study is always related to the application of knowledge in practical life. Bacon describes the three main purposes of study, including studying for gaining delight, studies done for ornamenting one's life, and studying in order to improve one's ability. The main idea of studies by Francis Bacon is benefits of reading. Reading helps readers to cope up with diverse situations. Of Studies by Francis Bacon theme: education, knowledge and balance. Bacon's Of Revenge. The revenge that a man takes for a wrong done to him by somebody represents an arbitrary kind of justice. The redress of a wrong should be obtained through legal means, but revenge means setting the law of naught. But if he refrains from taking revenge, he shows a moral superiority over his enemy. Of Revenge by Francis Bacon, we have the theme of morality, letting go, control, acceptance and selfishness. According to Francis Bacon, revenge is a kind of wild justice which the more man's nature runs to, the more ought law to weed it out. Next is Of Ambition. Sir Francis Bacon actually wants to say that ambition is the worst kind. Ambitious persons, like cholera, become mad if something wrong happens to them. Bacon's main focus in Of Ambition is on the merits and demerits of an ambitious person and the utilization of an ambitious person. Bacon's essay is about the uses of ambitious in the service of prince or of the state and about the best ways to manage ambitious men. According to Bacon's highlight, ambition is something that induces in a man a spirit to achieve something in his life. Next topic is Of Friendship. The essay of Friendship by Francis Bacon celebrated the intimacy between friends which is subjected to both prosperity and adversity without succumbing to the clouds of doubt and jealousy. The essay was written on the request of his friend Toby Matthew. Bacon's main material in the essay of Friendship focused the fruits of friendship. His clear observation is that friendship brings relief and ease in human mind and freezes its worries and anxieties. According to Bacon's, fruit of friendship is the ease and discharge of the fullness and swellings of the heart, which passions of all kinds do cause and induce. Next prose is Apology for Poetry. Apology for Poetry was written by Sir Philip Sidney. Let's see introduction about Sir Philip Sidney. Sir Philip Sidney was born in November 1554 and died in October 17, 1586. Was an English poet, courtier, scholar, and soldier who is remembered as one of the most prominent figures of the Elizabethan age. His works include Astrophel and Stella, The Defense of Poesy, also known as The Defense of Poetry or An Apology for Poetry, and The Countess of Pembroke's Arcadia. Like the best of the Elizabethans, Sidney was successful in more than one branch of literature, but none of his work appeared until after his death. Apology for Poetry. Philip Sidney in his Apology for Poetry reacts against the attacks made on poetry by the Puritan Stephen Gosson. To Sidney, poetry is an art of imitation for specific purpose. It is imitated to teach and delight. So even history, when it is described in a lively and passionate expression, becomes poetic. Significance of Apology for Poetry. An apology for poetry is one of the most important contributions to literary theory written in English during the Renaissance. Sidney about poetry. Poetry, according to Sidney, is an art of imitation, a representing, counterfeiting to speak metaphorically, a speaking picture with its end to teach and delight. In next class, we will upload you a video in Unit 1 Drama. Thanks for watching us. Subscribe the channel PGTRB Tamil Inia Kannan.